WCYB, your town, sponsored by Powell Valley National Bank.
Welcome into News 5 at 5. We are here at the historic Carter family fold in Hiltons, Virginia, as WCYB continues to celebrate its 70th anniversary. Good evening, I'm Kristen Kwan.
And I'm Casey Getz. All throughout this year, we're going to a different town or community throughout the year, once a month, to showcase the people, the history, and look to the future of our regions. We've been in Kingsport so far, Abingdon, and Wise. Tonight, we're in Scott County.
Yes, tonight we are celebrating the communities of Scott County, Virginia. So our News 5 team has been all across Scott County talking with people that call this place home.
Throughout tonight's show, we will feature some places in Hiltons, Gate City, Weber City, Fort Blackmore, and Duffield.
But of course, before we start the show, we do want to talk and take a moment to recognize our first responders and the firefighters who worked around the clock earlier this week to put out the Frog Hollow fire that burned over 300 acres in the Hiltons area.
That fire was contained 100% as of Tuesday morning, and thankfully there were no injuries and no property or structure damage as well. We want to thank the U.S. Forestry Service, the Virginia Department of Forestry, and the Hiltons Fire Department for their service. And right now we want to take it down to David Boyd and Dave Dirks with more, talking to some people who were seeing that fire firsthand.
Yeah, thanks, Casey and Kristen. It's great to have this warm and sunny weather. We're glad it's dry for our broadcast, but things were getting a little bit serious earlier this week with that Frog Hollow fire, and I know we want to share our gratitude to a couple of people here from the Virginia Department of Forestry, David.
That's right. So we have Dan Hossick and Caitlin Sparks with the Virginia Department of Forestry. Thank you for your work in our region, and I know you have just a little bit left to do with this fire, but it's well under control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you very much for having us. As of right now, the fire is contained. Currently, I have crews there watching it, monitoring up, doing a process we call mop up. So putting out heat close to the line just in case the wind gets up and it jumps. So whoever's not on that fire in that area, resting up for the next one. And I have crews all over Southwest Virginia. Katie Sparks, she's a member of one. She's been on several fires this week as well. So we're just rolling with the punches, I guess. They pop up and we go do the best we can to get them contained and make sure that everyone stays safe and nothing is harmed.
Gotcha. And just for the few seconds left, what are some things the public can do to help and maybe fire prevention?
Probably just don't be careless with where you're burning.
Yeah.
Good watchful eye on things. Right. Exactly. Well, we do need some rain, and there is some in the forecast, and meteorologist David Boyd and I will be back with more on that forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Live from the Carter family fold in Hiltons. Absolutely beautiful here in the Carter fold. The fold first opened in 1979 after the late Jeanette Carter, daughter of A.P. Carter, wanted to open a music venue and a museum in honor of the legendary Carter family.
Yeah, today the Carter fold is the hub for keeping the tradition of bluegrass and folk music alive for new generations to enjoy. News 5's Kaylee Harris has a closer look at the history behind this building and what makes it so important and special to the Hiltons community.
The Carter Family Fold is an institution of our music and our culture here in Southwest Virginia. Of course, Jeanette began that project as a promise to her dad to keep his love of the music alive.
A.P. Carter always dreamed of having live music show here in the Valley, and she followed through with that. She and her family, Rita.
For the most part, we do have Saturday shows of acoustic only, mountain music, old time and bluegrass music shows that preserve music like the Carters played it. The original Carter family played it. We want to keep that kind of music alive.
When you go to the Carter Family Fold, you not only get to experience the living traditions that exist here in Southwest Virginia. You can hear an old-time band and jump up on the floor and flatfoot and clog with folks, but you can experience that lineage and history of the Carter family and see firsthand the impact that they've had not only on music in America, but music across the world.
There will be peace
So the Fold has such a legacy, not only around the Carter family, but really around bluegrass and country music in general. It's been a spot for legendary performances, including Johnny Cash's final performance was done at the Carter family Fold, as well as June. So its historic significance to country music can't be overstated.
The most important thing about this place is the friendships you make that will last forever. It's just a big family.
People that work here, we are all volunteers. We don't get paid. We love being around the people that come and visit from all over the world. Rita does a phenomenal job taking care of this place. There's more work here involved than people realize. Without the volunteers helping up here, this could not be run.
The culture itself, the music itself, old-time music, bluegrass music, some of the best gospel singing you'll ever hear, and it's part of what we are, who we are, and how we got here, and it's very important. And to see the young people that come, that gives me hope, and the others here that work, that it will continue.
These young artists and their children and their children and their children will all be carrying this music on. It won't stop, because if it wasn't good music, it would never survive. And just think how many hundreds of Carter family songs, the way that they've influenced music. Family songs, the way they've influenced music.
Us now is the executive director of the Fold, Rita Forrester, along with Dr. Joe Smitty, who we're going to get to hear some of your music later on this evening. But tell me just a little bit, what do you think makes the Fold so special?
I guess that we're a rural arts organization, which is rare, and that we are like a little family, and people who come here kind of feel like they're part of that when they arrive. They just feel like they've come home.
What about for you, too, as a musician?
We're having fun every Saturday night for 50 years. We're honoring culture. We're honoring the Carter family. The Carter family wanted the programs to be morally good, they said, and that's what we're doing. We're having a great time here at the Carter Fold.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite parts about being here is it's really family-friendly.
It is. You'll see little babies dancing up to 90-year-olds, and I don't think you'd see that too many places.
What kind of memories do you have of the Fold? I mean, I'm sure you have so many, but what are some that stick out to you?
Well, some of the people that just walk in, like musicians that you don't know are coming, and I usually would get them on stage if we can. And I know one night I was running tickets, helping Peggy with tickets, and Jesse of Jim and Jesse came in, Jesse McReynolds. And he said, "What does it cost a man to get in this place?" And I said, "For you." And he said, "Yes." And I said, "You've got to go get your mandolin and play." And so he did. And then another night we had a surprise. One of Led Zeppelin was here. John Paul Jones came. He played here at the Fold and then went up to our little church and played the next morning. So you just never know who's going to drop by.
Pretty neat, for sure. Well, we are excited to hear your music at 6:30 tonight, and you can learn all about the Carter family online our website, WCYB.com. A tunnel in Scott County so large a train runs through it. A closer look at the state park.
Plus, the only golf course in Scott County with one of the sport's greatest feats. Don't miss it when we come back.
Natural Tunnel State Park in Scott County is centered around a massive tunnel, so large that trains run through it.
News 5's Rebecca Pepin recently visited and shared some of its history with us.
The Commonwealth purchased the Natural Tunnel area in 1967. Then in 1971, it opened to the public as an official state park.
A train comes through the tunnel as many as 4 times a day, but there's no set schedule. You just have to get lucky.
You can feel it rumbling when you're standing outside. So very much so, when they're loaded down, they're making their presence known.
And what an incredible sight.
Inside of the tunnel, it's about 110 feet or so from where the tracks, or where the creek is, up to the roof. The length of the tunnel itself is about 850 feet from the north side entrance to the south side exit.
Stacy Harris is the chief ranger in charge of visitor experience at Natural Tunnel State Park, a Scott County treasure created thanks to the rushing Scott Creek.
A combination of that, erosion over time, and the fault line, the Glennia fault line that runs right along the tunnel. So, of course, this is a spectacular thing to kind of come down here and see the amphitheater walls and just how huge and how powerful the water flow is through the tunnel.
You can see the cave from one of the park's overlooks. But if you want to check it out up close and personal, which I recommend, you have to make the 200-foot drop in elevation, 173 steps down, if you're counting. If you get to the bottom and you decide you don't want to make that hike back up, there's always the chairlift. It's about a 4-minute ride. And whether you're up high or on a hike, keep an eye out for all the wonderful wildlife, including otters, bats, salamanders, and bigger beings.
Like the bear, the deer, and the beavers.
Each visit a different experience, full of wonder and beauty.
When you're having one of those days where it's kind of just like, it feels like a long day or anything like that, there's nothing quite like being able to just step outside and just see the park.
At Natural Tunnel State Park in Duffield, Rebecca Pepin, News 5 WCYB.
One of golf's greatest feats happened right here in Scott County, but as I learned, there's even more to this incredible story. On top of a hill, you'll find the only golf course in Scott County. It's a 9-hole course that opened in 1966.
This #1 hole was known as the hardest hole in the whole Tri-Cities.
Wally Ford has been a member since it opened 60 years ago. Playing at this course, where it's harder to get a flat lie than a hole-in-one, you had the respect of players from other courses.
If you guys play here at Scott County, you can play anywhere.
Pretty consistent. Yeah, they're both in the same spot.
And do the unthinkable. Barry and Jody Wolf are identical twin brothers and the head coaches of the Gate City golf team. Over 30 years ago, at the age of 15, they accomplished the impossible on hole number 2.
A ball went toward the hole in the right direction and didn't think nothing of it. Then Jody stepped up and hit a shot, and it was going somewhat in the right direction and went up there, and both balls were in the holes. We both had hole-in-ones on the same day, same hole. Really, it's kind of hard to believe that that happened, but you know, it's something that some people play their whole life and never make a hole-in-one.
Decades later, there was more family magic in the same spot.
And my son, Carter, he started playing when he was 9, 10 years old, and they hadn't been playing probably for less than a year, and he made a hole-in-one on the same hole.
Then, a few years ago, Carter picked up an assist on another ace courtesy of the course's only remaining member from when it opened in 1966.
I picked that hybrid club out that Carter gave me, knocked it straight in the hole on number 2 for a hole-in-one.
Even more proof that it's harder to find a flat lie on the Scott County golf course than get a hole-in-one.
Coming up, we have a closer look at one of the only applied behavior analysis schools in Southwest Virginia and what makes them so special to the community.
One of the only applied behavior analysis schools in Southwest Virginia is right here in Scott County in the heart of Fort Blackmore.
Yeah, the Fort Blackmore Center of Excellence is a school designed for students with disabilities who need an individualized education program. The school currently has 10 self-contained classes with 122 students. Staff focusing on positive reinforcement and working on life and social skills as they prepare all their students for graduation.
The school wouldn't be where it is now without donations and grants provided by the community that surrounds it. And thanks to that help, they were recently able to put in an all-inclusive playground.
We have the best community support. We have a community that loves our school, and it just makes me feel so good to know that we're loved and people are so willing to stop, lend a hand, get things for us, offer financial help, and our kids are taken care of. It's wonderful. They really do appreciate what we do here, and they do truly love our kids. Get things for us, offer financial help.
On April 25th, the school will be hosting a memorial benefit ride where all proceeds will go towards improving the school for its students. For more information on how to be involved, you can head to our website, WCYB.com.
This Storm Track 5 weather forecast is sponsored by Eastman Credit Union.
I'll tell you, David, it is quite an honor to have you with me tonight at such a great and special place as the Carter family fold. You just look around, you can see and feel the significant historical presence of all that has gone on here, and it's just an honor for me to be here.
It is. It's great to be here and with the audience and just knowing all the history that has gone on here and will continue.
Yep, and thankfully the weather is good. We're going to take a live look here from a camera nearby, the Mendota Fire Tower camera in Washington County, Virginia, but it's pointed toward the Kingsport and Scott County area.
It is, and we have very warm temps in the 70s and 80s, still feeling like June with low humidity levels within a few degrees of a record high. And we are tracking some scattered showers, some much needed rains to the northwest, especially in southeast Kentucky. A couple of downpours north of Harlan and also to near and west of Middlesboro. And so this is with the system that's going to be rolling through this evening. We're going to see some scattered showers, chance for a thunderstorm or downpour. Nothing severe in our area, but there could be a couple of storms with some gusty winds through tonight and actually some severe thunderstorm warnings well to the west near Paducah.
All right, so here's the evening plan. We could see some of that activity moving in, shortly, western counties along the Kentucky-Virginia border, but probably Tri-Cities, Kingsport, Hiltons, probably after 9, 10 o'clock in the evening and staying pretty mild to warm. And the showers, as you can see here in the future track, will continue to move across the area. It looks like by about 11 o'clock or so, that activity will kind of wane. May see a bit of pop-up activity again towards sunrise in the morning.
Yeah, a few scattered showers around first thing tomorrow. Looking at the temps for tonight, we'll be down into the 50s, some scattered showers and thunderstorms around. Another warm day tomorrow. So this is not a cold front pushing through, just some scattered rain that has popped up and staying very warm into Saturday. Then we see the big changes into Sunday. But first, we have some scattered rain, another good chance coming in late Saturday.
And so two chances, one tonight and then again maybe Saturday afternoon, about a 30% chance, but especially late and through the overnight into Sunday morning, we do expect the rain to be winding down pretty early on Sunday with gusty winds and clearing, but much cooler temperatures are expected with lows in the 40s Sunday and highs only reaching the low 60s.
So much cooler on Sunday. We're going to go from 86 Saturday afternoon down to 34
maybe
degrees.
Some patchy frost on
Monday
and
morning.
Tuesday.
That's right. Yeah, lows are going to be very, very chilly Monday morning and Tuesday morning.
So hopefully we'll get some rain. We do need it.
Yes.
Storm Track 5 weather cameras are sponsored by Ingalls.
I'm here at the Scott County, Virginia Animal Shelter alongside the Chief Animal Control Officer, Jake Daughtry. So talk to me a little bit about how inundated you've been over the last couple of months.
So over the last 3 months, we've had 176 animals come through our shelter. We've had some hoarding cases, people having too many dogs really to care for them. And really the answer to that is spay neuter. And if anyone's needing help with spay neuter, they can always reach out to us or the Scott County Humane Society for help with that. We can assist people with getting a lower cost for spay and neuter.
So don't just not fix your animals, folks.
Right.
All right, I'm going to introduce you to one of the beautiful dogs here who is up for adoption. This sweet baby was found in very cold conditions on a chain and not enough shelter. Well, this is beautiful Duke. He is so handsome. Such a chill and wonderful boy. Oh my gosh, we love you, buddy. He is just really, really awesome. He's about 4 years old, does well with other dogs, not necessarily alpha males. He may not do so great with them, but otherwise, he's a sweetheart. If you would like to open your home and your heart to little Mr. Duke, reach out to the Scott County, Virginia Animal Shelter. May not do so great with them, but otherwise, he's a sweetheart. If you would like to open your home and your heart to little Mr. Duke, reach out to the Scott County, Virginia Animal Shelter.
On how the city got its name. Heather.
Yeah, guys, we are in Gate City, as you mentioned, at the high school. Gate City is the county seat of Scott County. I don't see a lot of gates around here, so it got me wondering, how did this city or this town get its name? First, a little history. It wasn't always called Gate City. It was founded as the town of Winfield in 1815 in honor of War of 1812 hero General Winfield Scott. The name was changed to Estelleville in 1817 in honor of Benjamin Estelle, a local judge instrumental in the foundation of the county. Gate City received its present name in 1886 when Attorney General Rufus Ayers pointed out that the proximity to Big Moccasin Gap marked the town as, quote, the gateway to the West. The town was incorporated as Gate City in 1892. So as they say on Saturday morning TV, the more you know. I was curious, so you get to know as well. So why am I here at the high school? Well, coming up a little later on, I'm going to have more on the county's most famous athlete, so stick around. Reporting live from Gate City, Heather Williams, News 5, WCYB.
One of Appalachia's oldest traditions still takes place right here at the Carter Family Fold. Coming up, we have a look at the history behind the Flatfoot Dance.
Sky 5 is sponsored by Steve Huff Plumbing, Heating and Air.